Today on Cyberwork Hacks, I'm talking with Tommy Gober, one of Infosec's teachers and bootcamp instructors, all about the CompTIA networking certification, the Network Plus. On Network Plus, what we're looking at, this is the fundamentals of networking. A lot of folks will attempt to do Network Plus before doing Security Plus. The order is not hugely important, but it does definitely lay that foundation. Even if you've got your security career all mapped out, Tommy and I will explain some ways that earning a Network Plus certification will enhance your cybersecurity practice, even if network admin is not a part of your career journey. It's going to let you understand how specific cyber attacks occur. And so by having that real deep understanding and filling in what I like to refer to as Swiss cheese knowledge. Tune in to check out the Net Plus today on Cyberwork. The IT and cybersecurity job market is thriving. Bureau of Labor Statistics predicts 377,500 new IT jobs annually. You need skill and hustle to obtain these jobs, of course, but the good news is that cybersecurity professionals can look forward to extremely competitive salaries. That's why Infosec has leveraged 20 years of industry experience, drawing from multiple sources to give you, Cyberwork listeners, an analysis of the most popular and top-paying industry certifications. You can use it to navigate your way to a good-paying cybersecurity career. So to get your free copy of our Cybersecurity Salary Guide ebook, just click the link in the description below. It's right there near the top, just below me. You can't miss it. Click the link in the description and download our free Cybersecurity Salary Guide ebook. Your cybersecurity journey starts here. Now, let's get the show started. Welcome to a new episode of Cyberwork Hacks. The purpose of this spin-off of our popular Cyberwork podcast is to take a single fundamental question and give you a quick, clear, and actionable solution to it, or a new insight into how to utilize Infosec products and training to achieve your work and career goals. My guest today, Tommy Gober, is an Infosec instructor, and I was happy to have him on to discuss CompTIA Security Plus certification, as well as Infosec Security Plus bootcamp earlier this year. But that's not all that Tommy has for an area of expertise. Today, we're going to be talking about another CompTIA cert, which is sort of the fraternal twin, I guess, to the Security Plus. This is the Network Plus certification. So Tommy and I are going to try and make the case that even if you don't plan on being a network administrator or being anywhere near that side of things, having a Net Plus in your back pocket can go a long way towards making you a better cybersecurity professional. And I'm looking forward to that. So Tommy Gober, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, Chris, good to be back.
Thank you. So Tommy, for those who are new to CompTIA certs, we had James Stenger on to discuss what he called the CompTIA Tech Trifecta, which is the A+, the Network Plus, the Security Plus. Can you refresh us on the scope specifically of the Network Plus certification? What skills are you learning with this?
Yeah, so on Network Plus, what we're looking at, this is the fundamentals of networking. A lot of folks will attempt to do Network Plus before doing Security Plus. The order is not hugely important, but it does definitely lay that foundation. So you're getting into the basics of networking, conceptual models such as the OSI networking model. That's huge in every networking course that you ever take. Understanding what's going on at those different layers. Also, we're going to dive into various protocols that we've got, the ways that these protocols are implemented, how those communications happen, what goes on inside of a frame or a packet. What makes an IP address? So all of those things get covered in this certification.
All solid concepts to know just for any sort of tech person. And if you keep watching Cyberwork Hacks, we're going to get even deeper into that in future episodes with some practice exams and some other things. But Tommy, because the job market right now is tight and very competitive, despite having lots and lots of open spots, it's kind of easy to get the baseline of bare minimum experience you need to do the thing you want to do, whether it's a SOC analyst or a pen tester or GRC. You can run the tools, you can do the job. But I think going deep on networking concepts feels like a little sort of an extra credit to a lot of students and learners. So talk about the benefits of being proficient in networking, even if you're all cybersecurity all the time and not really planning anything to do with being a network admin.
Sure. Yeah. It can seem extra credit, but what I see the value of understanding networking in depth as being is it's going to really kind of explore, why things are the way that they are. It's going to let you understand how specific cyber attacks occur. And so by having that real deep understanding and filling in what I like to refer to as Swiss cheese knowledge, where you have a really good grasp of what's going on, perhaps, but you're missing some key holes that are in that knowledge. Network Plus really goes back and fills in a lot of those holes so that you understand the why and the how that might be otherwise behind the scenes.
Beautiful. So, what advice do you have? Maybe there is no advice. Maybe this is I'm barking up the wrong tree. But if you're running sort of parallel tracks and trying to learn the so-called tech trifecta all at once, is there a way of integrating the Net Plus study into your ongoing Security Plus study? Is that something where concepts from one can reinforce concepts from the other? Like maybe like learning two languages at once.
Yeah, it can be helpful to have both of them, to learn them concurrently or to sequence them, network and then Security Plus. There is some overlap. It's not a great deal. You can certainly get just your Network Plus, and then tackle the Security Plus later. Or if you already have Security Plus, you can come back and do Network Plus. You will have a leg up if you already have one or the other, but there's just not a great deal of overlap between the two. But the things that do overlap comes into play of what are those different types of protocols? What are those port numbers associated with those protocols? And again, getting back to that how and why behind the scenes, it can really give you a leg up whenever you're going for the Security Plus.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. And I think that it's worth noting that it's a long way between being able to completely set up a home lab and knowing exactly what every single thing does, and at least understanding, the general concepts, like you said,
Well,
of where, what packets are and what, port numbers are and so forth. So yeah, I think that's excellent advice. Though, obviously InfoSec is all about helping you pass your certification exams with flying colors. But we also want you to make sure that you retain that info and use it to level up your skills in your career. Because, we want people who are able to just keep building on, strength on strength like that. And so, along with the info you need to retain for a passing Net Plus grade, can you talk about what networking concepts, if any, you think a security professional should continue to be sharp about in their cybersecurity career?
yeah. So I would say definitely, as tech changes all the time, the fundamentals don't. The fundamentals don't change. Or they change very slowly, I should say. I'll go ahead and throw in a caveat there. But with with some of those fundamentals, that you have these different OSI networking layers involved. We even work in some discussion about the TCP/IP networking layer model, ways that these protocols interact with one another, ways that the various services interact with one another, the structure of those packets. All of these things will really give you a lot of insight whenever you start learning about some new cyber attack that's out there, or some new defensive measure that's out there, or perhaps you even discover some new novel way to defend a network against some sort of unwanted intrusion. That's all going to be possible if you have that understanding of the fundamentals.
Yeah, yeah, I think that's and we're hearing so much about things like asset discovery and really knowing your network and making sure there's no dark spaces or whatever, and where people can, maybe someone got dismissed 8 years ago and their account credentials are still in the system somewhere, and I suppose understanding, again, it goes back to that idea of being able to do the job you're doing now versus doing the job you want to do next, which involves, another layer of skill rather than just reading log files and escalating things to the head of the SOC and so forth. So I think I think it's going to be essential personally. But as we wrap up today, Tommy, you've taught hundreds of students over the years. What's your top piece of advice for studying for and taking the Network Plus exam?
For the Network Plus, number one thing to know on here is to know your port numbers. Know which ports are associated with which protocol or which service. And then also know it the other way around, know which service is associated with which port number. And then the other huge stumbling block for a lot of newcomers to the Network Plus is understanding subnetting. Subnetting really trips up and snags a lot of beginners in there. And so I personally spend quite a bit of time making sure that we understand how subnetting works, why the notation is what it is. It can be very, very confusing if you're just looking at it from static text. But once you have someone to explain to you conversationally, it starts to really click, and it doesn't become such a big stumbling block that you might hear others having those troubles with. So know those port numbers and know your subnetting.
Perfect conclusion there. Thank you so much, Tommy Gober. This has been extremely illuminating. I appreciate your time.
Thanks, Chris.
And thank you all for watching this Cyberwork hack. If you enjoyed it, please share it with somebody, colleagues, forums, your social media accounts. Word of mouth recommendations are how shows like this grow their audience. And make sure to subscribe to our podcast feed and our YouTube page. Just type in Cyberwork and Infosec in any of them. We'll pop right up there at the top. If you have any topics you want us to cover on the show, drop them in the comments. We're always reading and we'll do our best to accommodate. Until next time, this is Chris Thenko wishing you happy learning.